Skinny Hardaway 7T back with another EP. And y'all do your boy a favor. Y'all smash that like button for your boy when you roll on in. Whether you here for a good time or a long time, if you could, do your boy a favor. Smash that like button for your boy as you roll on in. Whether this your first time, if you could. Not make it your last time if y'all could. Smash that like button for your boy as you roll on in. Earlier this week, I gave my fight breakdown and prediction on the fight between Teofimo Lopez and Pedro Campa. I went with Pedro Campa for the win by split decision. I think it's gonna be an extremely close fight in that main event this weekend with Teofimo Lopez and Pedro Campa. It's gonna be Teofimo Lopez's first fight back uh, in the sport since his loss to George Kambosos. And it's going to also be his first fight at the 140-pound division. It's a bit of an uphill climb for Teofimo Lopez. Now, Campa isn't, a world beater type opponent, but he's more than a formidable, opponent. I said on my Southern T, I see this fight going, one or two different ways, right? What's good, Ray Buck? Let me say what's up to the people that came in the bed. My bad, child. Where my manners at? What's good, D Free? Appreciate you sliding through this, John D Free. Glad you can make it. TWT in the building. Big Tex, appreciate you sliding through this, John Big Tex. We got, we gotta take care of that last little business. But shout out my guy, Big Tex, TWT in the building. Salute to my guy, We Talk Sports. What's good, We Talk? Appreciate you sliding through this, John. TWT in the building. Shout out my guy, Ray Buck. What's good, Ray Buck? Appreciate you sliding through this, John. I've been seeing you dropping this, John, a little more often. I like seeing that, when people come and then they keep coming, that brings joy to my heart. Shout out my guy, DP Rocker. Appreciate you sliding through this, John. TWT in the building. Shout out my guy Zone. What's good, Zone? I appreciate you sliding through this, John. The family all here. I love seeing them TWTs in the building. But hey, yeah, I digress. You know what I mean? But earlier this week, I dropped my prediction on the Teofimo Lopez versus Pedro Campa fight. I think we in for a hell of a battle. You know what I mean? Teofimo is not in the battle that he can't win. I personally just don't think that he will win it. You know what I mean? It's an extremely winnable fight for him. I just got Pedro Campa, you know what I mean, by split. Again, it's only by split, right? So that lets you know how close that I think the fight is, right? But I got Pedro Campa in that fight by split decision. You know what I mean? Shout out my guy G5 Gabe. I appreciate you sliding through this, young Gabe. Glad you could make it. Pimp TWT in the building. Again, I love seeing my TWT fam, my brothers and sisters in the building. Shout out everybody from the TWT squad. Appreciate y'all sliding through this, John. Y'all do your boy a favor. Whether y'all here for a good time or a long time, if y'all could do your boy a favor, smash that like button. And again, if it's your first time, if you could, not make it your last time, if y'all could do your boy a favor, smash that like button. But tonight, I'm here just to fill y'all in on, the undercard for the Teofimo Lopez and Pedro Campa card. Tomorrow, we do have boxing tomorrow. You know what I mean? Tomorrow, I'm going to do the boxing fights for tomorrow on the Tevin Farmer and the Mickey Bay card. I'm going to do that tomorrow morning, around sometime. So make sure y'all tune in for that one. But tonight, we gonna talk about the undercards, you know what I mean, to the Teo Pedro Campa main card. We got a couple of fights on here that I want to talk about. In particular, 3 people in particular I want to hit on. Alexander Zayas, right? We got Troy Isley. Troy Isley is one of my young favorite prospects. coming up, amateur, nice amateur record. You know what I mean? Nice amateur career. Is one. Troy Isley, he got a fight coming up on the Teofimo Lopez card. And also we got Duke Ragan. Duke Ragan is a silver medalist, and Troy Isley is a bronze medalist. And we all know who Xander Zayas is. You know what I mean? But before we get into it, real quick, I want to speak about something that I hit on a little earlier with that Tyson Fury situation. Now, just so everybody can understand, and be clear about it, Tyson Fury was supposed to come back against Derek Chisora, but he came out and he said earlier, he said earlier today that Derek Chisora basically that he priced himself out basically, so he's not going to be returning against Derek Chisora. I know some people was confused on exactly, what I was meaning about my Southern T earlier. Originally, when I started the Southern T, he had said the day before that he would fight Chisora, but then he came out the next morning and said that Chisora priced himself out. So no, he won't be fighting Derek Chisora. But Teo and Pedro Campa, they do fight this Saturday again in Teo's return fight. In Teo's return fight, and he's moving to the 140-pound division for the first time. I'm going to start. My bad. I'm going to start with my bad. I'm in my phone at the same time too. My bad, y'all. Multitasking. I'm gonna start with Troy Isley. I'm gonna start with Troy Isley. Alex Alberto G said, "Hey T, the crazy thing about Xander is he turns 20 next month. Top Rank can slow roll him for 2 or 4 more years, and it is true. He is extremely young. They very well could slow roll him for 2 to 4 more years. And I think, if you really want to maximize, his talent, you want to maximize his profit, and you want to maximize, his skills as well. I think you should wait about, another 2 years or so, because there's really no rush, to get him in there with the top guys at 154 right now, right? In the back of our mind, maybe some of us think he can compete with the top guys at 154. But the good thing about it is he's young enough, He's young enough to where, we don't got to get those ounces yet. You know what I mean? There are people in front of him. And what I mean by that is, right, not, protecting nobody, but there are people in front of him who deserve, shots before he even gets there. So I'm not even trying to rush Xander Zayas to the top of the division already, because right now at this moment, I don't feel like he's ready for the people at the top of the division. But again, he is extremely young, so he can't get ready. He is extremely young, so he can get ready, and I expect him, to get ready. I'm high on I guess I'll start with Xander Zayas, huh? I'm high on Xander Zayas, to be real with you. Again, as my guy Alex pointed out, this guy is only 20 years old. I do want to see Xander Zayas, fight somebody I think gives him some sort of competition, because right now he pretty much just blowing through guys and running through guys, and that's cool right now, right? But after a while, it's going to get to a certain point where, if you constantly get in the ring with these guys and you blow them out, you're going to get in there and you're going to expect, just to be blowing everybody out, you know what I mean? It's the saying that goes, no, if you don't use it, you lose it. And I feel like if you go in there and you're not using, all your tool bag, all your skills, or you don't have to, use all the tools in your tool bag, then eventually you will lose the tools because you're not working with them. You know what I mean? So I think Zayas is, on the right track and everything, but I think it's time you turn up his opponent level just a little bit. You know what I mean? So that complacency doesn't, set in with Xander Zayas, or, his skills don't start to deter. You know what I mean? The Wayne boxing match just said I'm going to go with Teo in this one. I think Peo leaves himself open too much for my like. Teo throws a little more straight shots. For sure, for sure. I mean, I could see the fight going anyway. I mean, just like last week, I mean, a lot of people was picking Malik Hooker, I mean, not pick Black Cobb type deal. I picked Black Cobb, because style makes fights. I can't, I don't always necessarily go with what people do historically in their fights. I go from, what they do, lately, as far as their last fight goes, pretty much like that. So that's kind of how I'm making my picks. I got Teo-Campa by split decision, you know what I mean? So if Teo wins, I won't be, you know, thrown away by it. I won't be blown back by it. Of course, especially with Teo being, in favorite. With Teo being the favorite and Teo being, the one, with Teo being the favorite and Teo being, the one that I think Top Rank is more inclined to push in this, I very well could see, Teofimo Lopez, getting the victory, right? Teofimo Lopez is seen right now as the better fighter, right? You would think he's the better fighter, but the better fighter, right? He's the better fighter on paper, I should say, right? He's the better fighter on paper, but if you really look at it, you know what I mean? I don't think he is that much of a better fighter than Teo-Campa. My guy D Free, he stated that Teo-Campa leaves himself open, and he most definitely does leave himself open a lot, especially when he throwing his combinations. But so does Teofimo Lopez. You know what I mean? I just don't like how, like, when you hit Teofimo Lopez, he act like he's never been hit before. He's like a deer in the headlights. It's always like it's almost like when you hit Teofimo Lopez, it's like he don't know what to do. It's like instead of like moving his head, it's like instead of moving his head out the way, it's like he get caught up and it's like he wants to move his head in his mind, but when he actually get hits, it's like he freezes and he actually leaves his head on the line. That's why I use the phrase, during the headlights when it comes to Teo. Because it's like you hit him, his eyes get big, and he just look you straight in your face instead of moving his head off of the line. You know what I mean? Y'all do your boy a favor. I got 6 people in the building. Can I get all 6 of y'all that's in here right now to smash that like button for your boy? If you ain't smashed that like button, whether you here for a good time or a long time, whether it's your first time, if you could, not make it your last time, if you could, smash that like button for your boy. What's good, D-Man? Shout out my guy D-Man Jr. Appreciate you sliding through this, John D-Man. Glad you can make it, D-Man. The weekend is tomorrow, you know what I mean? We got fights Friday and Saturday. We loading up to do that thing again, so I mean, so I need you to get out of this shit ready for tomorrow, D-Man. We got boxing matches tomorrow and MMA tomorrow, and we got boxing matches Saturday and MMA Saturday. You know what I mean? So just to give you a heads up on that, brother D-Man. Shout out my brother D-Man. I appreciate y'all sliding through this jump. We in here talking about the fight, the undercard fights for this weekend. Xander Zayas, Troy Isley, and Duke Ragan. We started with Xander Zayas first, you know what I mean? This is the Teofimo Lopez and Teo-Campa undercard. What's good, damn it, man? Appreciate Nah, D-Man. Nah, D-Man, you don't, D-Man. Nope, I tried to get you something throughout the week with the dub. We ain't win shit. We ain't win shit. But we got the fights coming up. My percentage is extremely high on the fights, though. You know what I mean? Damon Man, what's good? Appreciate you sliding through this, John Damon Man. Glad you could make it. TWT in the building. Appreciate you sliding through this, John Damon Man. Y'all do your boy a favor. Y'all smash that like button for your boy when you roll on in. We in here talking about the undercard, the top ranked card right now. Earlier this week, I picked my winner from Campa and Teo. I went with Campa on the split decision. Teofimo Lopez is the favorite. Teofimo Lopez is I will be doing NFL matchups live tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for sure. So that'll be 2 p.m. my time. Bitch, I got you, D-Free. I'm going to be in that thing. But y'all gave my prediction for Teo Pedro. I'm taking Pedro. Right now I'm about to give y'all my predictions, for the undercards fights. And it ain't go, take long. It ain't, rocket science because these guys, are our up and coming prospects. So they're not necessarily being put in the ring with guys who are going to beat them necessarily, but they most definitely are being put in the ring with guys who will test them. And I want to talk about Troy Isley's and Duke Reagan's fights in particular. My bad, Charles. But I want to talk about Troy Isley and Duke Reagan's fights in particular. So I'm gonna start with Xander Zayas because I believe Xander Zayas has the easiest matchup out of the three fights, that I'm talking about right now. Does Xander Zayas. So I want to start with Xander Zayas on this one. Hold on, y'all. Give me a second. Give me a second. Again, I'm gonna be here about 30 minutes. I ain't gonna keep too much of y'all time. But yeah, my bad. I'm here back. Dub, right side was good, Dub. Appreciate you sliding through this, John Dub. Glad you can make it, Pimp. Glad you can make it. Y'all do your boy a favor. Y'all smash that like button for your boy. Whether you're here for a good time or a long time, I'm bringing up Xander's box rec so I can find his opponent. Yep. Xander Zayas is fighting Elias Espadas. Elias Espadas is 22-4 with 15 knockouts. He's 31 years old, 5'10 with a 71-inch arm reach. I'm about to bring up the screen so y'all can put a face with these names. We're going to try to get, through these joints in about, 10 to 15 minutes. Appreciate you. But yes, Xander Zayas is facing off against Ellis Espadas. He's 22 wins, 4 losses, 15 KOs, 31 years old, 5'10 with a 74-inch arm reach. His last fight was a victory against Marcus Willis. I'm about to roll down. He got Demetrius Ballard, This is a recognizable name, Demetrius Ballard. He got a no contest with Demetrius Ballard in the third. Ref stopped the bout on the advice of ringside physician due to an open laceration over the left eye of Elias Espadas as a result of an accidental headbutt. So Demetrius Ballard, he fought Jaime Munguia. His only loss is to Jaime Munguia. So that's one fighter, you know what I mean? One notable fighter, on his list. So Xander Zayas, is about to fight. What was his name again? Xander Zayas is about to fight Ellis Espadas, and he ain't really faced off against nobody that we know too well. Y'all may know Demetrius Ballard. Demetrius Ballard just fought Jaime Munguia. You know what I mean? But not really notable names on his resume. He has 22 wins and 4 losses with 15 KOs. So, not a F level fighter or a D level fighter. You know what I mean? Maybe like a middle of the pack fighter type deal he's facing off against is Xander Zayas. But I've seen some terrible records, in boxing, like 7-23 and shit like that. You know what I mean? So, this is a step above, a zone level fight. But, a guy that Xander Zayas should take care of pretty easy. You know what I mean? He said, don't go for the KOT. That guy is tough, never been stopped. But my guy, We Talk Sports, said Xander Zayas is going to win this one easy. D Free, the Wayne boxing matchup, said Xander is going to win that one easy. Yeah, I think so too. We Talk Sports says Xander Zayas fight supposed to be a regional title too. I'm pretty sure. So Zayas fight for a regional title. Okay. You don't see it on this jump though, but okay. But Xander Zayas 13-0 with 9 KOs, 19 years old, 5'10 with a 74-inch arm reach. They are exactly the same height and they have exactly the same arm reach. You know what I mean? Xander Zayas doesn't have any, noticeable wins either yet. Still a prospect. You know what I mean? But a high level prospect. I think Xander Zayas is one of the people, who is next up in boxing. I think we got about another, 4, maybe, another maybe 3 to 4 years before, this guy even reached a prospect level. He's still very, very young and very, very raw. His maturation. Top Rank has a few of these guys that's around 19, Xander Zayas, what's the boy name? Xander Zayas. And they got one more guy that I like a lot.
His name is blowing me right now. It's kind of late. I was good, Ratchet, since 91. Appreciate you sliding through this John Ratchet. Glad you can make it. Y'all do your boy a favor. Y'all smash that like button for your boy. Whether you here for a good or a long time, if y'all could do your boy a favor and smash that like button for your boy. But Jahad Tucker, they got Jahad Tucker, who's 19 years old, and they Xander Zayas, who's 19 years old as well. Top Rank got a couple of these couple teenage prospects, that I got my eye on. And Xander Zayas is one of them. I expect Xander Zayas, to be victorious in this fight. My guy D Free said, don't bet the knockout in this fight because this guy has never been stopped. So you know what I'm gonna do real quick. I'm gonna go to, my betting app. I'm gonna go to my betting app and I'm gonna check, the knockout, the ratings and all that good stuff on Xander Zayas, like I always do, on these shows. So Xander Zayas is minus 4,500. They expect him to win this fight easily. What's good? We talk sport. Okay, yeah, I read that. Shout out my goddamn it, man. My goddamn it, man said Xander gonna beat that ass. Most definitely, damn it, man. Most definitely. Dominic, what's good, Dominic? Appreciate you sliding through this, John Dominic. Glad you can make it, Pimp. Glad you can make it. Y'all do your boy a favor. Y'all smash that like button for your boy when you roll wrong in. Xander Zayas for the knockout in this fight. Xander Zayas for the knockout in this fight is minus 185. That was pretty decent odds. Xander Zayas for the decision is plus 160. You know what I mean? Type deal. But I got Xander Zayas in that fight. I never, I'm not familiar with the Espadas guy. You know what I mean? But he's the same height as Xander Zayas, same height and same reach. So Xander Zayas is going to be in with, somebody who he's not, physically bigger than. The guy is 31 years old. You know what I mean? So he's not an old guy. So I believe that it is going to be hard to knock this guy out. Again, you can look at his record, 22 and 4 losses, and see that, he's just not your everyday run-of-the-mill scrub. You know what I mean? So I expect it to be, a fight, type deal, in this one. But I expect Xander Zayas to win. I expect Xander Zayas to win, pretty comfortably in this fight. But let's move. I wonder what they have Duke Ragan name in there, like Duke Ragan, or will it be like his nickname? Duke Ragan, his real name. Yep, his real name is Duke. So in the next fight, we got Duke Ragan. He's 6-0 with 1 KO, 5-5. You know what I mean? He's in the featherweight division. He's a silver Olympic medalist. He just won the silver medal in the last, Olympics they just passed. The same one that Keyshawn Davis was in as well, type deal. Duke Ragan is also, a top ranked guy over there with Bob. This card that I'm talking about now is the top ranked card. Pedro Campa and Teofimo Lopez is the main event, and Xander Zayas and Duke Ragan fight on the undercard. Again, I'm gonna try to make this as quickly as possible because I ain't trying to take up too much of y'all time tonight. But we got Duke Ragan 6-0, 1 KO. Duke Ragan is facing off against D'Angelo Funches. D'Angelo Funches is undefeated as well. D'Angelo Funches is 7 wins, 0 losses, and 4 KOs. 23 years old, 5'6". So this is a battle of the prospect. One prospect 6-0, the other prospect 7-0. This is this is a bit of a highlight fight for Duke Ragan. This is a highlight fight early in his career. I personally think that Duke Ragan, he's been put on that fast track. I think this guy's going to be a champion one day, and I think he's going to be a champion one day soon. You know what I mean? So 6-0 and 7-0 facing 6-0 and 7-0 facing off against each other. I watched some tape on this D'Angelo Funches guy, and I tell you this guy he can box. That 7 fights with 4 KOs. That's kind of impressive, but I will say he hasn't knocked out, any high level competition or nothing like that. He's fought a lot of guys. He's been in a lot of fights that he is, supposed to win. He's fought a lot of guys that he is supposed to beat. You know what I mean? So Duke Ragan is going to be an extremely high level jump from what D'Angelo Funches is used to. Duke Reagan, you know, Olympic silver medalist. He just got a silver medal in the Olympics that just passed. And the funny thing about Duke Reagan, y'all look at Duke Reagan on this picture right here, and he look young, right? Man, Duke Reagan during the Olympics, Duke Reagan wasn't getting haircuts. He wasn't shaving his face or nothing like that. I guess that was part of him, being in the zone and keeping himself focused, right? Man, Duke Reagan looked like the old ass man when he was going through the Olympics. Nigga had like an afro, hair everywhere, beard scruff in there. Where I know that don't mean nothing, but I just thought that was cool how Duke Reagan really locked in for them Olympics, and he said he wasn't getting chopped until he brought home a gold medal. He ended up bringing home a silver medal. You know what I mean? I think the last fight was a tough, could have went either way, but he ended up not getting the edge. But Duke Reagan, I think it's going to be. I think Duke Reagan is going to be one of those prospects and one of those boxers that we talk about for a long, long time. You know what I mean? In boxing, he's over there on this side with Bob Arum, so we most definitely could be expecting to see him a lot. But he's one of those guys I think have a high ceiling. Duke Reagan can box with anybody on the planet. I mean, pound for pound, punch for punch, skill for skill. He can box with anybody on the planet and anybody on his level. He got that silver medal for a reason because he is a high skill level boxer. I expect him in this fight to be able to really to beat D'Angelo Funches any which way he wants to. This guy is undefeated as well, so this isn't set up for it to be a cakewalk for Duke Reagan, but I think it will be a cakewalk for Duke Reagan. I think Duke Reagan will be able to take this fight and control this fight at any level, any range that he wants to. I think Duke Reagan, this is going to be a bit of a coming out party for him. Again, he has 6 wins and 1 KO, so he's not just, overly knockout puncher, but he's a guy who goes in there and he gets the job done, and he gets the job done efficiently and effectively, does Duke Reagan. I see Duke Reagan winning this fight by unanimous decision over D'Angelo Funches. I think it's designed to be a close fight. I don't think it's going to play out that way at all. I got Duke Reagan winning in impressive fashion, whether it's UD on points, which is what I'm going to call, or rather he overwhelms this guy and gets the TKO stoppage. I do see Duke Reagan being victorious in this fight. Boxing matchup, Dwayne Freeman said, I think Xander is the best prospect coming out of Puerto Rico. I most definitely will have to agree with you there. Y'all do your boy a favor, whether you here for a good time or a long time. If y'all could, smash that like button for your boy. Don't know if this your first time, but if you could not make it your last time, as you roll on in, y'all smash that like button for your boy and subscribe to the channel. Now we about to take a look at the last fight. The last fight that I want to talk about is going to be one of the prelim fights as well. One of the main card prelim fights as well. And we got Troy, the Transformer Isley. I've had the pleasure of seeing Troy Isley fight in person with my own eyes twice already. Troy Isley is also a boxer in that extremely good Olympic class that we just had that came out this last year. Troy Isley fights at 154 pounds. This says middleweight, but I think he's a junior middleweight, if I'm not mistaken. He fights at 154, 5'10 with a 69-inch arm reach is Troy Isley. He weighed in at 158, 147, 156, 156, 156. So I think Troy Williams is campaigning at 160. You know what I mean? He fought at 154 in the amateurs, but I'm guessing he's been at 160 since he turned pro. His first fight he weighed in at 57, 57, 56, 56, 57, 58. So Troy Isley fights at 160. Troy Isley is also one of those guys that I'm extremely high on. I like this Troy Isley guy. He is my favorite young prospect coming up right now. You know what I mean? His name is the Transformer. You know what I mean? But I think his name should be Brick House. You know what I mean? Because if you see Troy Isley, you'll know exactly why I call him Brick House. I also call Troy Isley. I call him Little Big Bud. You know what I mean? Because the way he kind of fight, he remind me of Bud Crawford, but he a lot bigger than Bud Crawford. You know what I mean? So but he also younger than Bud Crawford, right? So I call him Little Big Bud. I like this kid. I think he got a high ceiling. If I was going to bet on anybody, you know what I mean, to get the knockout in their fight or this weekend, it would be Troy Isley. Troy Isley didn't get the knockout in his last. I mean, he did get the knockout in his last fight against Dante Stubbs. Took a lot to stop Dante Stubbs. You know what I mean? But he did eventually get the knockout. But the thing with Troy Isley this weekend, it's like Troy Isley has been matched up. Like Troy Isley has been matched up as hard as anybody can be matched up with only 6 fights. Troy Isley fought a guy not too long ago. It's like he hit this guy with everything that he had, the whole kitchen sink, and this guy would not, go away. The shit looked unnatural how hard Troy Isley was hitting this guy, and the guy wouldn't go away. It's like they put Troy Isley in with the hardest, with the hardest, prospect matchups they can find. But Troy Isley has came out on top each time and has been victorious each time. Troy Isley is facing off against Victor Tony. Victor Tony is no slouch himself, 6-1-1 with 5 KOs. Victor Tony Victor Tony is coming off a win over Joel Guevara. Joel Guevara is 4-6. He won that fight by knockout. Before that, he had a split decision. I mean, he had a split draw in the fight before that. In the fight before that, he lost a UD to Sebastian Fundora. He had been out 17 since 2017 when he faced off against Sebastian Fundora. Sebastian Fundora beat him 6 rounds out of 6. He later then came back in 2020 and fought Will Clemens. You know what I mean? So this is a guy who's making his comeback. You know what I mean? He had a fight in 2021 last month, and now he got a fight coming up against Troy Isley. He's a guy who's just getting back into boxing. He took a little time off. You know what I mean? But he getting back in now. Again, this guy is no slouch, Victor Tony. But I think this fight is going to be fight for Troy Adams to show what he got. Victor Tony is a guy who's going to present some problems for Troy, but I think again styles make matchups, and I think the style of Troy Isley is all wrong for a guy like Victor Tony. So I do see Troy Isley, getting the stoppage over Victor Tony. Again, it's only a 6-round fight, so if he don't get the stoppage, it'll probably be because he ran out of time or something like that. But I most definitely expect Troy Isley to be victorious in this fight, versus Tony type deal. Again, I'm real high on Troy Isley. Troy Isley, bronze medalist, from the previous Olympics. Troy Isley campaigns at the 160-pound division. Again, just like Duke Reagan and Zayas, I think Troy Isley is going to be one of these people that we're hearing about for a long time. The one thing I will give Top Rank a hand clap and give them their kudos for, and I'm going to do a sudden T on this. I might do it tomorrow. Matter of fact, I am going to do it tomorrow because it's not just Top Rank. I know a lot of people think that it's just Top Rank and Bob, but I do want to give them their credit for actually getting these guys signed and getting these guys on TV. You know what I mean? He's been signing a lot of these Olympic fighters, a lot of these young, promising prospects to Top Rank. He putting them on TV and he getting us a chance, you know what I mean, to see them. But again, it's not just Bob and it's not just Top Rank. The guy, Jay Prince, he has a lot to do with that. You know what I mean? Himself, Duke Reagan, Troy Isley, Big Baby Anderson, Shakur Stevenson, Keyshawn Davis, just to name a few. All those guys fight on Top Rank, and Bob Arum gets hella credit, you know what I mean, for signing those guys and bringing light to them and bringing attention to them and getting them fights. But all those guys are managed by the same person, and that same person is Jay Prince, not Xander Zayas. And the Zayas isn't managed by Jay Prince, but everybody else just named to you, all these Olympians, these Olympic winners that Top Rank has been getting lately, most of those guys are managed by Jay Prince. So, shout out to Top Rank for doing their thing and signing these young brothers from the Olympics and getting them right into action and getting them going quick. You know what I mean? But those are my picks for the undercard. I got Xander Zayas, to be victorious in his fight. I got him winning. I haven't picked a method for him to win yet, but I got him winning. I'm gonna take I may take Xander Zayas, with the points. I'm gonna go Xander Zayas, unanimous decision win. This weekend in his fight. I'm gonna go Duke Ragan with the unanimous decision win as well. In his fight coming up this week, he's fighting an undefeated prospect, 7-0. So that fight should be good. And in a Troy Isley fight, I'm gonna go with Troy Isley to win by fifth round TKO or fifth round KO. In his fight, the guy he's fighting is not a slouch, but he had been out of the ring before his last fight up until 3 years. His last fight was a month ago, so I think I kind of think that they bringing him in here, a little ill prepared. Even though I do think if maybe he was fighting somebody other than Troy Isley, he will have a chance. But when you are going up against such a tall task against Troy Isley, and you covered off a low layoff like that, I mean, I really don't see too much hope, you know what I mean, for Tony in that fight. So I got Troy Isley in that fight as well. But again, y'all, I don't want to keep y'all in this thing too long. I'm gonna stay on this thing, one more minute. I appreciate everybody sliding through this. John just want to come in and give y'all my fight picks for the undercard. Tomorrow we do got boxing matches, and I'm gonna hit y'all with, my predictions and my breakdown of the fight tomorrow in the morning. Actually, the fight card start at 6. I'm gonna hit y'all, with my predictions and my breakdowns on the fight card on the Tevin Farmer card. Tevin Farmer and Mickey Bay have a fight coming up. They got a card coming up. I'm gonna talk about that one tomorrow. You know what I mean? And we go do it that way. So make sure y'all tune in for that. But I just wanted to come in and talk to y'all about, a couple of the undercard fights that's gonna be on the Teo-Campa card. Since I gave my prediction to the Pedro fight earlier this week, I got Pedro by split decision. I want to come, run down the undercard, to y'all on that tip, because we got a couple of exciting fights that's gonna be on that jump that I think the people need to see. But that's all I got. Getting Hardaway 7T. I ain't gonna keep y'all too long, but before I go on,